music. He's like love, 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 and music. La la la, love, 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 and music. Love, love.
Well, hello, everyone. Thank you for tuning in. I am Jay Lee. This is Jay Lee's Corner, and this is my late review for Love Is that comes on. It came on Tuesday. I did not watch it until Wednesday, and you're not seeing this until Thursday because it's basically 1:30 right now, so we won't get this for a few hours. But, you know, with the holiday coming up, we had the 4th of July. I was going to be off on the 4th, and I was like, I'm just not going to do reviews until late Wednesday because nothing came on today on Wednesday, so, you know, it's fine. Anyway, so, and also, this is the funny part. I watched Where the Campbells, and I watched the Have and Have Nots earlier today, and if y'all watched my review last week on Love Is, I said, you know, the show was so slow, like, it's just so slow. So today, I watched the other two shows, like, at, 1 o'clock in the afternoon. And then I was about to watch Love Is, and I was like, I just do not feel like watching it. I just don't feel like dragging an hour out. But, you know, I watched it at around 9 o'clock tonight. And surprisingly, it wasn't really slow. I was like, oh, okay. My hair is poking out. I just watched it, so it's a little wet. I was like, it wasn't that bad. Tonight's lipstick is Kat Von Z. The color is Baja 5. Also, if you have not done so already, please take a moment to subscribe to my channel. Hit that little subscription button, and then also don't forget, you have to hit the notification bell to be notified when I have new videos up. If you are a subscriber, make sure to hit that notification bell, and also don't forget to like this video. So, you know, this particular episode, it starts out with older Nuri talking about how after the concert that her and Usee went to, the next 18 hours they kind of just spent together, like just nesting, cocooning together. You know, seeing how they have that stage when you meet someone that you're like a cocoon, and you're just, everything else outside the world just doesn't exist, and you're in a cocoon. And, excuse me, I do think a lot of people go through that phase. I call that, though, it's the fake phase. It's the phase when you don't really know the person too well, and you're in bliss. Like, everything is wonderful. But you have to get past that phase, because after that phase comes the realization stage. Okay? So we do see after the concert, they basically went back to Nuri's house. They can't go back to Yasheer's house because Yasheer ain't got no house. And they on her floor, rolling around, kissing and hugging, dry humping, as she likes to do. And, you know, she has this big house, but again, she has not bought any furniture. She only has like her bedroom, her bed. So they're just on the floor, just rolling around, kissing and hugging, and then she remembers, crap, it's Ramadan, and he's of course fasting. No sex, no food, no sex, all of those things. And so they kind of stop. And, you know, it was cool or whatever. So she's like, all right. He like, all right, I'm gonna leave. You gotta go to work in the morning, you know, all these different things. So he get up to leave, and they're talking a little bit. They're having all these little conversations about leaving, staying, or whatever. But he does leave. So then he gets in his car, and his car won't start because he's a little putt. So his car won't start. He's like, oh crap, you know, this is crazy. You know, the car isn't working. I wish it would go. I could go. And he like, you know, I'm not gonna go in there and ask her, can I borrow money to get a tow truck? I'm not gonna ask her, can I use her AAA card? So he's like, you know, I'm just kind of stuck. I'm literally stuck because the car is parked in front of her house. So she sees him outside. She does not realize his car won't start. So, because he didn't get out his car, he's sitting outside the car, he's smoking a cigarette. And then she's like, see, as much as you don't want to leave, I don't want you to go either. So this come back in. So I'm looking like, I mean, again, she don't get that his car won't start. So he say, okay. She like, but you got a damn net. I got my fly spray too. If y'all don't, it's the damn summer gnats, and they driving me crazy. But I bought some murder spray because I don't feel like catching them. And it's just driving me crazy. Anyway, so they're going back in the house. She's like, you know, you have to take a shower because she does not like smoking, and he was smoking a cigarette. if you don't like smokers, you just don't date them, because it will never work. Something will always smell like smoke, and it's just gonna drive you crazy. So, they go in a house, and older Usee is saying, God was leading me and I didn't even know. I was broke, I was homeless, I was away from my son. But that night, Nuri was basically my lifeline, because because he didn't have nothing. He don't have no money. I wonder how he put gas in his car. He doesn't work, and the thing is, they've known each other, and they've like, oh my God, I love you, but she hasn't asked him many questions to even really know things about him, and he realized that she don't know stuff, but they have this connection or whatever. So it was, it was what it was. So now they're in the house and they're still sitting around talking. And I feel like she was doing one of those things where you were like, give me some names, give me some numbers, give me, places where you want to live, and then you like use the numbers to pick, oh, we're gonna get married in 7 years, we're gonna have 13 kids, we're gonna live in Afghanistan, and we're gonna sell the babies to Jesus. I don't know. But so she's doing that. So then when she asked him to give her 4 names, he said Nuri, 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 Nuri. And she said, what about Ruby? And then he was just like, you mean my ex who turned into my roommate? So supposedly, Ruby is his ex, but she's also just a roommate, and that's why he sleeps on the couch and she sleeps in the room. And they kind of weren't having sex until the time she kept on trying to initiate the sex. And she's like, well, okay, if that's what you say. He like, no matter how many times you ask me, the story won't go. It's not gonna change. That's what it is. And I'm like, if he say so. At that point in time, they like laying in the bed together, and she is reading, I believe, his script that he wrote, and she's like, name of the title, written by my baby. He's like, well, I don't like to be called baby. She's like, oh, well, what can I call you? He was like, Usee. I'm the same way. I was dating the guy, talking to this guy, not dating, we were talking, and he kept calling me like bae and baby, but like not B-A-B-Y, it was like B-A-B-E. And I'm like, I don't like being called that. And he like, oh, you know what I'm saying, my fault. And I said, call me Jay Lee. And he would remember, and then like maybe 3 days later, hey baby. He ain't last long because he couldn't remember what the fuck I told him to do. Anyway, so I can get you're serious, and like, I don't like to being called baby. So she's like, all right, script, written by Usee. And as she's reading it, his ass fall asleep, because again, he homeless, he hungry, he tired, he's in a comfortable bed for the first time in a while, and so he falls asleep. So then they both kind of fall asleep. So they are asleep, and they're sleeping separately. They're sleeping together. Well, meaning on separate sides of the bed, and then they kind of get a little bit closer, and then he cuddling her, and then she cuddling him. It's basically how people sleep on a regular night. You know what I'm saying? Everybody don't sleep all tight together, all hugged up, but sometimes within the middle of the night of you sleeping, you do kind of hug on him, he hugs on you. So that was very realistic. And then when they wake up in the morning, because their phone is ringing, he's like, crap, shit, I didn't wake up to pray today. And then she's like, oh my God, well, that's my boss, realizing that I left last night early and I didn't stay. But she answered the phone, and sure enough, it was Norman, her boss. But luckily, she's telling her, like, yeah, the show last night was great. You know what I'm saying? So because the show was so great, everyone has today off. She's like, okay, great, thanks for calling. So now, you know what I'm saying, she got today to spend her honey. So she said, can I call you honey? And he was like, sure, that's cool. She said, good, because I have a honeydew list. Now, everybody know a honeydew list means that's the list you get to your honey to do things around your house. So she had a whole honeydew list. And it was cute. They was like pulling the wallpaper off her walls and doing little house stuff, because again, her house ain't got no furniture. So she's doing different stuff around her house. So in the kitchen, they talking, or whatever. And he the phone rings. And it's like, okay, then let the machine get it. And it's Keith. Now, Keith is the guy who asked her to go on the skiing trips. He's called like, oh yeah, about the ski trip, we're going to still go. We can, talk about it later or whatever. So she's like, I made those plans before I met you. No, I made those plans before I fell in love with you. I said, girl, you in love? If you say so. And you're like, oh, it's fine. Before me, it's fine. She's like, all right, well, I'm going to go. And he was like, the hell you is, you ain't going to no dang on cabin. And he then says, you know what I'm saying, because a ski weekend just means the guy wants to have sex with you somewhere when it's cold outside. It's just to have sex somewhere else, a different scenery. And she's like, that's not true, you know what I'm saying? I'm not going to have sex with him. Like, I wasn't going to have sex, even if that was his expectation. It wasn't what I was going to do. And then he's like, you know what, that's why women confuse men. He's like, why would you think he would not expect sex? He was like, why would a man invite you, you know, to go somewhere and spend money, and y'all gonna be at the hotel for a whole weekend and y'all won't have sex? And I said, I mean, what he said made sense. That's very, very true. I don't think what he meant was, if you go, you have to have sex. But if you go, you have to be aware that he may be expecting sex, and then you can tell that I'm not gonna have sex with you. But you can't go thinking, oh, he don't want no sex. No, they always want sex. Hell, sometimes we do too. But you know, he's like, I took him to stand as you just have to be aware of what someone wants, because you don't want to send mixed signals and then have him thinking, well, yeah, she know I want some sex, so you know what I'm saying, and she's gonna act like, oh, why would you want sex? Well, because I took you to a ski weekend to a hotel with you alone to have sex. So they end up changing the subject. The phone ring again. This time it's her boyfriend from New York, Derek. And then she's like, don't worry about him either. You know, he is someone from my past, and you know, he hasn't even called. He's my boyfriend, or no, my college sweetheart, but he hasn't called me back in a week. So you know what I'm saying, it was what it was. I'm not thinking about him. She's like, Nuri, how many men did you have in your life? So she's honest. She said, you know, I have the one dude who was the food runner. I broke his heart because he wanted more and I did not. I have Keith, who's an executive at the movie set, or the TV company. But you know, I didn't think about him. And then it's Derek, who was an ex, or he was a current boyfriend, but he doesn't, you know, he doesn't take me serious, so I'm like, not worried about that or whatever. And then he's like, okay. She's like, but again, you know, that was all before you. What about Ruby? And he still doesn't speak much on Ruby. He just says she's an ex who's a roommate, but ain't nothing up between me and her. But I'm like, if you think so. So the phone rings the third time. She's smart enough to answer the phone before it asks when she can get it. We can hear who's calling. And this time it's Angela. Now remember, Angela was talking about either episode 1 or 2, where she was saying, well, you know, I'm talking to this guy online. This is when online dating first got popular. So she was telling her before, like, you can't meet nobody you meet online. Like, don't be meeting them in person. Well, Angela's gonna meet this guy that she talked to online, and they was gonna meet up at like to me it was like a Home Depot, because I'm like, girl, why would you meet up at Home Depot? But again, you sometimes want to meet somebody in person. You want to meet them in a public place. But I'm like, I feel like you can get kidnapped from Home Depot, because at Home Depot, no one is paying attention to anything. Like, it's so open. If he snatch you up, put you in the car, you just kidnapped. So I'm like, I think when you meet somebody online or you meet somebody in person first, I'm gonna probably do a story time about that. You should just meet them like at like a Starbucks, or like go to the mall and meet in like the food court, and then let them leave or whatever. But like, don't. It's just certain places you have to go, like this really in public, where y'all. It's just Home Depot is not the place to meet somebody in person. Is my point, my personal opinion. Anyway, Nuri like, no, hold them off. I'm gonna be down there because you meeting here by yourself. Give me about 20 minutes. I'm gonna be there. So her and Usee then make plans to meet up at around 7 o'clock later on tonight, so they can both, you know, spend some time together. Now, see, when they leave, he in his car, well, she still don't know his car won't start. So then when she pull off, she's like, all right, 7 o'clock. Like, yeah, 7 o'clock. All right, I love you. I love you too. They really saying this love you thing like it's real. But you know what I'm saying? Some people believe in love at first sight. I'm not one of those people. I believe in love at like fourth sight, like 4 days down the line. I mean, you can think that you can see someone like, oh my God, I love their spirits. I love their haircut. I love how he smells, but I don't love you. I need some time to love you. You know what I'm saying? Anyway, so she pull off and he like, shit, you know, because of course his car won't start. So he just pushes his car down the street a little bit. I'm like, if I was him, I would have pushed it as far as I can take it, like this out of her whole neighborhood. But you know, I guess he wanted to be somewhere where he could still see it, but she didn't see it, and so he can get it towed somewhere or whatever. But I'm like, we're gonna be told you ain't got no house. Anyway, we then see him like walking down the street in his nice little linen suit, and he's trying to call Sean to see if Sean will let him borrow his AAA car. I'm looking like, Yasir is a scrub. Like, he's a real life, like a scrub. Like, I'm just, I guess, I mean, at what point does potential and scrubness cancel each other out? Because at this point, I'll be like, bruh, you can't even afford to get your car towed. Girl. Anyway, Nuri do go meet up with Angela with the guy at the Home Depot place. First of all, Angela told this man she's like a tax attorney and not that she works in TV. He's cute. He likes how she look. We don't know how she think he look at first because she's like, oh yeah, let's go look for whatever stuff. And they talking or whatever, and they kind of, he got one opinion, she got the other one, and to me it just seemed like it's common conversation. And even though two people don't agree on something, they're like talking about their points of view. And then Nuri walks up, hey girl, hey Nuri, long time no see. So the whole fake conversation thing go on. So when the guy like, oh yeah, I want to talk about, I'm gonna be over here looking at the cameras. Angela's like, I don't like him. He doesn't look 35. He looks like he can be 45. I think he maybe sent me a picture of himself when he was in high school. But he was a nice looking gentleman. I mean, he was nice looking. However, he do seem like he may live with his mama. By how he was just surprised that she had her stuff together. But at the same time, hell, Nuri man live in his car. So, you know, beggars can't be choosers. And sometimes it's a thing where you can't always expect the other person to have everything together the way you have things together, because everybody live different lives. I mean, I wouldn't want to date a guy who's homeless. Like, I don't want to date a guy who lives in his car. I just don't. I mean, I just think, because he's going to want to live with you. Okay, and then you're going to be like, I love him. Just move in with me. And then it's a whole situationship, and I ain't got time for the bullshit. Been there, done that, moved on, got the goddamn t-shirt. So, she tells Nuri, you know, I need you to help me get off this date, because, you know what I'm saying, this internet dating thing is something, but he ain't my Prince Charming, but I'm going to keep looking, and I'm going to find him, and it probably will still be on the internet. So then like fake like she hurt her neck, her knee, or her ankle, and they have to go to the doctors, and she leaves the guy in the Home Depot, whatever. So from there, we do see Sean calling Yasir back, like, bruh, your car broke down again? And he like, yeah, man, I need to buy your AAA car. He was like, bruh, you want my gym car, my AAA car? You want so much, bruh. He like, yeah, but you know what I'm saying, I really need it. So Sean said, well, no, you can't have it, because I only got one use left, and I can't let you use it. Like, matter of fact, didn't you pay for one with Ruby? Don't y'all share that one? This fool gonna say LA is a common law state, so that's half your card. I said, bitch, I mean, I think it is, but still, I don't have AAA. I have insurance now. I used to have Progressive, but do you only have so many uses for your on a car? I'm like, what? I don't know about that. Anyway, got my fan on a little bit. So we see that whole thing. So then we do see Yasir going back to Ruby's house where they used to share the house or whatever, and he's looking for the AAA car to get his car towed. So it seems as if he's in the dark a little bit, like he ain't got no lights on, and he looking through the mail, he looking at all these different places. But I'm like, wouldn't a AAA car like in your wallet or in her purse? But don't go in her purse now. Don't go in the purse. But he's looking for it. He can't find it. And then here come Ruby walking up like, oh, what are you doing here? And he looking at her like, what the fuck? And he realized she has on a compression garment, and she has drains on both sides of her hips. So I'm looking like she didn't have surgery. He like, Ruby, what the hell wrong? Like, what the hell up with you? Like, what happened? And then she's like, I messed up. But I'm like, what the hell? Did she do it herself? Like, what's going on? So Ruby then admits that she had lipo, and that's the real reason she had been tripping about how much money he made, was because she needed to pay for the liposuction. She then says how the other yoga studios are not trying to hire no black girl with hips and ass like her, so she went and got lipo to be able to fit into the yoga studios hiring criteria. I don't know. She said, you know what I'm saying, she said I don't have the body my white clients want, so it's hard for me to pay my bills doing yoga because of how I'm built. And Ruby had a nice shape, so I'm like, to me that was, but again, this is the 80s? No, the 90s. This is the 90s. So I'm like, girl, you look fine, but it kind of shows how even back then people played into the whole you have to look a certain way to do a certain thing, and she fed into it. So he like, look, I've told you all the time how beautiful you are, so why would you do that? Like, you have all the knowledge you need to be successful, and you didn't went and had the damn surgery, and he like, and who gonna take care of you? Oh, well, my friend was here taking care of me for one day or whatever for some hours, but then she had to leave. So he like, oh crap. But she looked like she's in pain because again she's had surgery, and I'm pretty sure the surgery back in the 90s is probably not as good as it was now because things have advanced now than how it did back in the 90s. I'm looking like, Lord Jesus. So we then see from there, because see there with her. So back at Nuri's house, Nuri talking to her mom. And her mom's like, you know what I'm saying, what's his last name? What's his birthday? And Nuri realized, I don't know his last name. Like, I don't know his birthday. I really don't know nothing besides his name was Yasir. And that's really it. I've been spending with a man whose name, I only know his first name. Her mama like, girl, look, you need to find out his last name. Like, just get to know him. Like, don't rush this process and just be in love with someone who you don't know. And you know, and I tell my friends that all the time. I have a friend who's dating. She was in a relationship for a long time. Now she's dating, and then like when we talk, whatever, if she meet a guy like on date one, it's like, oh, I met so and so, he's nice, and I'll be like, girl, no. Remember, you know, relationships are like pregnancies. The first 3 months is just the first trimester. Don't tell nobody shit until you're out that safe zone. And because what happened is, date one be cool, and then 2 weeks later she's like, I don't like him. And I'm like, because you didn't get to know him. You can't like someone even if they're a nice person. I'll be like, just wait, because that first date, the person can be nice because it's the first date. Like, some first dates are that they're assholes off rip. I get that, but sometimes you have to just take the time to like really get to know who they are, and if you don't want to murder them, because some guys, you just want to, like, it be so bad seeing you be like, you know what, I can just kill you right now because I hate you, like, I want to like murder you, and we got to break up. So I be like, look, wait, at least you got to see this man in person like 6-7 times before you can really say, you know what, I can like him. Because then you can know some shit, okay? Her mom is saying the same, like, you don't know him yet. Like, she like, you always so quick to get these, like, fixer-uppers. Like, your house, you bought this house that needs work done, but you could have bought the other house down the street that was a little bit more expensive, but it was completely ready to move in, but you have these ideas of what you can do to fix people up. So in a way, it's like, okay, is Yasir her fixer-upper? Girl, yeah, because she's a goddamn scrub. We then see Yasir at home, well, not at home, but at Ruby's house, taking care of Ruby. He's trying to get her to the bathroom. He's like, okay, better change these drains out. He's emptying her drains. And I mean, and he's not being sexual. He's not being like boyfriend-ish. He's been friend-ish. She's like, you're my friend. I still care for you. I don't want nothing bad to happen to you. And you have no one here to take care of you. And you here suffering because it's just you. Like, you should have told me this was going on, and I could have seen if I could help you. Because again, his whole thing was, we're not a couple, we roommates. And it wasn't until she wanted more, it seems, that she told him he had to leave. And then when he seen she was trying to get more, he seen him saying, I do need to leave. So he's at the house again, taking care of Ruby. And where is Nuri? At the restaurant, waiting for him to get there. But he at that damn house helping Ruby sponge bathing her, reading the post-surgery stuff, what she need to do, and all these things, like fixing her food. Like, I mean, he's taking care of his friend that had surgery. So I mean, that's a valid reason to help your friend. At the same time, Nuri then, like, he stood me up. I'm worried sick. She called the hospitals. She called the police stations. I remember doing that when I was younger, when I was dating whoever, whatever. If that person MIA, I would have to call all the precincts, and I would call all the ER to see if that person was ever. And a few times, you know what I'm saying, he was in the precinct. Anyway, so at the same time that Nuri is calling word that he's somewhere, you have Yasir calling Sean, like, did I leave her number somewhere? Like, he's trying to get to her. Because he don't have her number. And I'm like, why don't you ever just keep it in your pocket? Because then this is back in the day when you had to, like, know someone's number to call them. You can pick up your cell phone and get contact. And you had to know the damn number. So Nuri's neighbor, the old white woman who was in episode 1, came knock at the door. Like, I want to show you something. Like, come let me show you something. They then walk down the street, and she shows her Yasir's car, which he is still left parked there. She was like, why is it here? She's like, I don't know. I know he spent the night with you, and I know when I saw him push the car down the street and leave it here, I didn't know why. She's like, is something wrong with him? And she's like, is something wrong with you? She's like, I think so. Like, I don't know where he is. I don't know his last name. And she was like, she said whatever the last name was. She's like, well, how do you know that? She's like, his mail is in his car. This old white woman used her hands to roll the windows down, because it's an old car. Used her hands to roll the windows down, and she was like, see, and she's like, are those his clothes? So Nuri then sees all his clothes is in his car, all his mail is in his car. It has an address on there, and it has her phone number that written down is in his car. So she's like, oh my God, is he homeless? And she's like, well, it looks that way, because again, all the stuff is in his car. But she sees the address to where he lives, and then she goes to the goddamn apartment. So we see Ruby and Yasir in the room talking, and you hear knock, knock, knock at the door. You're like, oh, that's probably Sean. He was gonna bring some food over for you or whatever. And then nope, he goes to the door. It's Nuri. Now he opens the door. And he's looking at her, and then he's like, hey, what's up? And she was like, hey, you stood me up. What's going on here? He like, I know you got a lot of questions. I know you have. She's like, why are you, like, what's going on? Like, he's like, you don't understand, Ruby. So because Ruby told him earlier, don't tell anyone I had surgery because I'm ashamed that I did it, because I should not have done it. So she's upset, like, don't tell anybody. So even when he said there was Sean, she said, you didn't tell him, did you? He's like, no, I wouldn't tell your personal business. So he was about to tell Nuri what happened, but he didn't, because, like, again, she asked me not to tell anybody her business. So he's like, again, I can't answer these questions right now. I can't talk about it right now. But if you can just trust me, you know what I'm saying, I can explain everything to you tomorrow. And she's like, I have questions. What's your name? What's your birthday? Are you homeless? Do you have a job? Do you have income? So she's shouting out all these questions that, again, she hasn't asked him from before. And he's like, I told you. He's like, I have all the answers I can have for you, but I just can't tell you right now. She's like, what? Is it Ruby? Unless she's dying, like, I don't get why you're here. But again, he can't say she had surgery. He can't say that because he's like, I can't do it. So she's like, I know I owe you answers, but if you love me, like, I promise, yesterday and today was not fake. I do love you, but I need you to just trust me and know I can answer these questions later. And she's like, you can't tell me anything. And then he just closed the door on her. I said, he closed the door. He closed the door. No, he closed the door, and she was saying, why not? Why can't you tell me these answers? And I'm like, bitch, you closed it on me. We ain't talking no more. I cannot. I get why he closed the door, because he did not want to keep arguing, and Ruby was there. I completely get that. At the same time, bruh, you caused the situation, so you could at least say, look, it's a medical situation, and I'm trying to help her, and that's why I can't talk about it. That ain't telling her what's going on. That's just saying she not dying, but she need help for medical stuff, and that's the only reason I'm here. And I can explain more to you in detail tomorrow. I would say, you know what? Whatever. And I would have left. But at least you gave me something to go on versus I can answer a question. No, bitch, I need some kind of answer now. Okay? Right now. So that's basically how it goes off. We do see future, you're serious saying, I'm saying, I could not answer Nuri's questions. I couldn't bare my soul and bare who I was to her at Ruby's house. See, that would not have been fair to Ruby. It would not have been fair to Nuri. So I had to close the door on the woman I love to protect the woman that needed me at that point in time. And I'm like, and you can't really say fuck Ruby, because truth be told, Ruby was there before Nuri. And you can't say fuck Nuri because supposedly they is in love. And then you do see when he go back in the house, he's giving her a sponge bath. He's giving Ruby a sponge bath. And then she's like, who was at the door? Because again, he came back in the house and no one came with him and with no food. And then she's like, who was at the door? He's like, I can tell you later. We can't talk about it right now. But you can, because he finished sponging her off or whatever. He said, you finish up in here. I'm gonna let you, you know what I'm saying, get your stuff together, and then we'll talk about whatever later. So it still is. He's like a friend. He's like a mutual, not a mutual. He's like a platonic friend. Like, I'm not trying to be boyfriend, girlfriend with you. I'm not trying to answer to you. I'm just trying to help you because you need help right now. Because once I finish helping you, I got to get back to the person I love and explain to her what I'm trying to do. And that's kind of how the episode goes off. So this episode, it did go by quicker. It was better. The story was not as slow. I like how they weren't focusing on like we have to get to this play. It was better. It was more conversation. It wasn't the whole lying in wait, like look at the camera just thinking or whatever. It was cute. I liked it. So hopefully the episodes go the same pace so that it does not get boring. Because again, I did not want to watch it. I did not want to watch Love Is. Matter of fact, my mom said, I said, my eyes don't feel like watch. I said, this is so slow. She was like, well, just don't watch it. Don't review it. And I said, well, you know, I'm like, people like the show and I like to review it. I'm like, so I'm going to give it, because I give every show about 4 episodes. So this is 3. We will see how 4 goes. Anyway, thank you for tuning in. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel, to hit that notification bell, to like this video. Put your comments below. I am Jay Lee. This is Jay Lee's Corner. Peace.